My name is Calliope, daughter of the sky god Zeus, and muse of much renown. Sit here, at my perfumed feet, as my poem unfolds before you. An epic that springs from the depths of the sea and finds its end upon strange shores. For this is your story, the story of Argonus, son of Argus the shipbuilder and friend to Jason the hero. Our tale begins like many a sailor's story before it, with tragedy and a lilting song that carries from one dark wave to the next. Awaken. Book 1. The Blight.
May these words recount the strange toils of Argonus, chronicler and maker of maps, washed up on strange shores and awakened by the voice of a goddess. What brought me thus, kneeling upon white sands? 'Twas a fell song, carried from one wave to the next, until it met the faithful Argo and pulled her deep, shattering both bow and stern. Now she lies broken amongst sharp rocks, never again to bring men to great adventure. Oh, and what adventures! All that could have been and now will never be. They are as foam upon pounding surf. The fickle gods, the very ones to whom this sailor offered tribute, have scorned us, forsaken us without rebuke or counsel. They have cast me upon bedeviled sod, and set horrors before my eyes. My brethren, the fabled Argonauts, are no more. Men I supped with just a day hence, are now naught but pallid and sorcelled stone, to be ravaged by wind and storm. Indeed, I am a man of many sorrows, but shall I not press onward? For good or ill? Mayhap the blight that has taken these brave men has not overcome all. Though my body's weary, my brow feverish, I shall not abandon them. So says Argonus, son of the shipbuilder Argus.
A frozen scream is etched upon the face of bewitched Typhus, helmsman of the Argo. Never again shall he foretell the rising. This owl seems unaware of its preternatural perch, and unconcerned with the plight of a shipwrecked sailor. Acastus, the son of King Peleus and a lifelong consort, reaches in vain. This statue, if it could be called thus, is that of Hylas, a man whose hands brought ore to water not but a day ago. This isle is littered with such more than a piece of driftwood. This plank was once surely bound to a might. This wild sheep appears interested in nothing more than the death that haunts this isle. No craftsman could sculpt a child so life. Light glints off this strange carved, her planks broken and her floorboards shattered. This skiff offers naught but harbour to small fish. The odd shape of this blue-grey stone gives nary a hint of abundant with boughs of leaves. This mosaic appears to be made of limestone, and thus surprisingly light. This splintered plank is no doubt a victim of the sharp rocks that encircle this isle. What value could this length of driftwood offer a weary sailor? Tis but a single plank, no doubt from a sunken ship. Tis the faithful Argo, her weathered hull rent, her stalwart crew scattered, dead or lost to the endless sea. A faint melody can be heard as the sea wind. The chalky fleece of this ewe, this wild sheep, appears interested in nothing more than the grasses that grow upon this beach. This statue would appear newly struck, as the salt of the sea. This hound was not spared the fate that befell the other inhabitant. Cracked and splintered, this wooden plank will serve a vessel no more. This rotten timber is too small to be a yard for the mast. 'Tis naught but a fisherman's net, set so the west winds can reach its sodden threads. This plank may yet have some value, perhaps as kindling. Whether spooked or merely provoked, the stallion launches itself from the cliffside before mighty wings carry it far above. The bell-shaped flowers of this mandragora are common throughout the Isles of Greece. Though salty mists shroud their form, there is no denying the women upon the rocks. For even from here, the lure of the siren's song is strong. This statue is of Minos, the king. Massive stone doors are cradled by the sheer a semblance of Pasiphae, the immortal daughter of the sun god Helios, guards the entrance into this mountain. Tis Palamonius, son of Olenane Lernus, whose bodily frame and valor no man could match. This young woman, most likely this child, was not struck down by mortal ills. Long, twisted necks adorn the pitted surface of this stone tablet. This grotesque statue is that of Honorable Castor. Finding a trinket such as this upon these shores, let alone within the boughs of this tree, must surely be a portent. This grotesque statue is that of Honorable Castor, skilled to guide swift-footed steeds. This statue is of Amphitrite, Queen of the Sea. Sadly, the goddess did little to hinder the decimation that litters these rocky shallows. The head of a once giant stone statue lies half hidden in tall grass and underbrush. An unseen hand forces Argonus from his feet and into a dense thicket skirting the stone path. A soothing voice murmurs in his ear as the sailor witnesses the passage of things only spoken of in tall tales, and even then, in whispers. "Be quiet for but a moment," the voice counsels. Once the otherworldly creatures fade from sight, Argonus pulls himself from the dust and gazes skyward. Before him, held aloft, is a handsome woman, replete with glory and power. How many times must fair Athena save one man? The immortal asks, her head tilted with uncommon grace, her eyes soft. Before words can form on Argonus's lips, she continues. "'Tis not a query to be answered so readily, sailor of the Argo. Shadows gather," she says. "There is a blight upon this isle. Have you not seen its handiwork? The flesh of your companions no longer flesh. Their bones, that of the earth." The woman's eyes drop. "I fear my own hand may have set these dire events into motion. For this, I will make amends. But know well, many of your brethren yet live, for I have seen them with my own eyes. Find them, Argonus of Crete, and as I did for your father before you, I shall provide a boat and passage from this isle. You have the word of fair Athena." Not a heartbeat later, the goddess is gone, and breath gladly returns to the sailor's lungs. 'Tis Phalurus of the Ashen Spear. His father, great Alcon. The statue is certainly that of the hero, Oileus, peerless in courage and strong in...
Blessed are those who chance upon this manuscript, only to marvel, perhaps in disbelief, that a goddess appeared, let alone spoke, to a simple sailor. Whether for grandiosity or merciful boon, fair Athena has once again brought me from certain harm. Yet this time it was not from deep water's grasp that she pulled a drowning man. This peril moved quickly, set high upon slithering tails. 'Tis true, for I have beheld such. And what wisdom flowed from the lips of the goddess, parting to mortal man? Admonishment? Pity? No, naught but hope. Upon each honeyed word I clung, drawn to them as a moth to a distant light within a dark wood. Then a covenant was struck between fair Athena and this sailor. Find my stalwart companions, those who yet live and are scattered upon these shores. And though horrors surely await, she will lead us down gentle paths to a waiting boat and safe passage from this isle.
No doubt struck by the hand of an Argonaut, the head of the Hydra lies lifeless, its flesh still warm to the touch. Hail, strong Erobotes, the son of Iris, skilled in the seers, Paul Canthus, son of Abas. Never was there a sailor more eager to quest, or raise. Calais was a welcome comrade. Taenarus has lost a great son in Euphemus. He was the most swift-footed, the visage of strong Asterius, son of Hipparasius. If not for its stone plight, this Methosian Hydra is like the one said to have been brought low by Heracles during his 12 labors. This wayfarer's spear is both a formidable weapon and a sailor's crutch. Calais was a welcome comrade, and could fashion ships to make trial of the seas with heavy oars. Using the broken spear, Argonus plucks the necklace from its roost before laying it about his neck. This necklace is not unlike one that was worn by Peleus, the son of the great sea god himself. One can become extremely ill, consuming the berries from this black nightshade. While the foundation of this temple is interred, the architrave and frieze of the entablature remains. The water that flows from these rocks would keep even the most stalwart from discerning what lies beyond. Her planks broken and her floorboards shattered, this skiff offers naught but harbour to small fish. Full leaves, like those found on apple or fig trees, are painstakingly inlaid into this rough piece of limestone. Nearly 200 men high, the massive bronze soldier stands silent, enthralled by the euphonious song rising from below. While it appears to be chiseled from the same rock, this stone is set apart from the great small ticks, like droplets of water, emanate from within this stone pedestal. The stone drops neatly into the groove, and the great eye slowly moves, revealing a hidden passageway. An intricate carving of a fish betrays which god inhabits the temple beyond. This woman was no doubt on her way to pay tribute within the temple. This carving is assuredly the work of a master craftsman. Ancient tome in hand, this priest was caught unawares. While this woman was surely an attendant of the temple, she shall never again set evening lamps alight. Even the pious have not been spared the bewitchment that has befallen this. This vase, portraying Poseidon and a merhorse, may have once held what colorful tiles create an exquisite. The shape of this stone tablet, embellished with detailed illustrations, would indicate that it is incomplete. Unencumbered by the burdens of man, this mosaic depicts the painstakingly carved by the pious. Relief such as this stone is bereft of markings, offering no deep waters, lavished with mermen and gods, are etched into this mosaic. Unlike the unearthly statuary that inhabit this isle, this towering removing the necklace, Argonus holds it before the statue, praying silently that Poseidon recognizes it and grants audience to a weary wayfarer. The great sea god does not disappoint. Within seconds, marble shudders, foundations shake, and the heart of Argonus is quickened. The Lord of all waters speaks.
Who would call upon Poseidon, only to be found wanting of tribute or song?
Poseidon stretches forth his arm.
Where are my consorts and vassals? Look about you. You may seek them, but they will not be found. They have deserted me, forsaken me in this darkest of hours. And who has set loose the scourge that you have borne witness? Athena's puppet, the son of Danae and Zeus himself.
The sea god pauses for a moment, taking measure of the sailor before him.
Yet, even so, my anger is not fit to be laid upon the shoulders of my bondservants, let alone set upon one whose necklace bears my mark. Leave me to my grief and seek me no more. I have opened a way for you. Take it if you wish, or abandon it. It matters little.
The statue of the sea god turns his gaze away from the sailor and speaks no more.
I have offered many a prayer to the gods of the sea, fervently petitioning favor while tossed upon great swells within dark storms. Yet it was not until my foot felt consecrated ground that any scales of disbelief fell from my eyes. Within my heart, I feared the very thing that has taken grip of the isle has rendered this temple nothing less than a tomb. For those who would worship here have succumbed as well, now the same ashen stone as those who pulled oars upon the Argo's salted decks. But within the midst of the dead, did mighty Poseidon, Lord of all waters, arise and speak, his voice a trumpet within sacred halls. Anger and fury rode upon his words, and a great grief followed close behind. He spoke of the son of Danae and of Zeus, whom I know from my studies to be honorable Perseus. But even with this discernment, how that hero is culpable for such great sorrows is, in itself, a great mystery. And though I paid no honor to Poseidon, nor did I bring him tribute or sacrifice, grace fell from the sea god's hand. My form was spared his wrath, and the rush of great waters grew distant until they could be heard no more.
This stone is bereft of markings, offering no explanation for the small depression set into its surface. The yellow light it emits is curious. Small boats, such as this, lie broken upon the sands of this isle. of men who would share the toils of his brethren. None compare to fair, never again shall this beast of burden. The blight of which Athena spoke has left the simple robe of this man betrays him as an attendant of some god. The creature that appears on this tablet is well documented. 'Tis a harpy, as cruel a beast as the god, laden with empty barrels. This wooden cart sits idle, its heavy wheels resting in well-used ruts. This man appears to have been shielding his eyes from the very thing that took life and left only stone. This net has been set out so as to dry in the warm ocean wind. Driftwood or not, having survived the wreck of the Argo, Agamedus, a brave comrade, fell to bewitchment and is now naught but a perch for birds. Lord Poseidon spared neither the mighty Argo, driftwood or not. This length of wood may yet serve a purpose. This isle is littered with such debris, broken reminders of man's folly. Here stands strong Coronis, warder of Ocalia and friend to all who put oar to Poseidon's dark waters. More than a piece of driftwood, this plank was once surely bound to a mighty ship. Now nothing more than sodden planks, this skiff is a home to small crabs and fish. A small opening, no wider than 2 shields, can be seen in the cliff's face. The great Phidias of Athens himself could not craft a sculpture so lifelike, yet lifeless. This wayward pig is concerned only for that which will feed its large belly. The chalky fleece of this ewe is wanting for a shearer's work. Nothing of interest can be any speculation on how this chicken wanders aimlessly upon the sod, as chickens are wont to do. Powered by the large blades, a heavy stone moves slowly within a wide grinder. "'Tis naught but a large wooden barrel." Although no fire burns within, this clay stove is still warm to the touch. Uncovered food such as this is sure to draw. In contrast to the fine statuary on this isle, this table is poorly constructed. This creature had nary a chance. Clearly caught unawares, this simply dressed man hinders entrance into or egress from this building. Small bits of stone have been inlaid into this tablet, forming the image. The form of a child, still in mid-stride, is no more than a lifeless statue. having endured sore afflictions and beached ships. 'Tis sad to see Arius, son of Bias and brother of Teleos, in such a state. The look of horror on this mother's face is a thing to haunt dreams and drive men mad. The proper use of flint and steel is taught at an early age to every Greek child. This cart is in fine shape and only in need of an ox or horse. The bane of this isle has claimed both the young and the elderly without prejudice. This parchment appears to be a recipe of sorts and provides illustrations of the required. This simple bowl and judging by its appearance, the stone pestle has seen its fair 'Tis a pouch made of sheepskin, complete with leather drawstring. 'Tis a pouch made of sheepskin, complete with. This parchment is inscribed with 3 illustrations of native flora. Next to each is a name and a brief description. Datura, purple trumpet flower. Black nightshade, white flowers with berries. Mandragora, green leaves with red flowers. Near the bottom is a drawing of fire, and within it, a single. This hide has been set out to dry, no doubt to later be used as clothing. Based on the circumstances, it seems unlikely. Uncovered food such as this is sure to draw flies. Small chairs have been set about. This small bed looks uncomfortable, even to a lost, weary sailor. While incomplete, this tablet appears to show a creature's hide, abounding in scales. Neither discarded coins nor any telltale markings can be seen within this fount. Neither man nor woman is undoubtedly part of a larger mosaic. This piece deserves additional study, as it features a number of prominent images. Flint and steel are inadequate to start a fire by themselves. A soft tinder is required to produce the flame. Sadly, pleading for one's life will not deter that which relishes in bringing both horror and death. Clothes have been set to dry on this clothesline. A few uninteresting items rest upon this table. This large shelf is stocked with various vases and bowls. Poorly made wooden chairs frame an equally paltry table. A few distinct images can be observed on this stone slate. Certain animal skins have been laid across this small wooden bed. The mosaic, now complete, depicts an epic battle reminiscent of the tales of Jason and the Spartoi. Having endured sore afflictions and beached ships, 'tis sad to see Arius, son of Bias and brother of Teleos, in such a state. The insatiable hunger of harpies is well documented. The beast's desire for gold, however, is not. This shallow pond reflects tall stones, set about it as if to keep the water captive within this golden veil. There are few creatures with a more hideous countenance than an ancient wind spirit turned carnivorous bird. "'Tis Argonus, whose lyre charmed stubborn rocks upon the mountains and the course of rivers. Zetes, the son of Boreas, shall stand battle-ready for all eternity." The eyes of this man appear as if pleading, begging to be released from a stone prison. The eyes of this man appear as if pleading, begging to be released from a stone prison. This stone is bereft of markings, offering no explanation for the small depression set into its surface. The yellow light it emits is curious. Much like her life, the eyes of this man appear as if pleading. Whatever prayers of supplication this woman lifted to the gods went unheeded, while impressive statues dedicated to the goddess Hera are not provoked by the wandering sailor. The great statue of Hera moves, her unblinking eyes falling upon Argonus.
Who are you, Argonus? Historian? Storyteller? Map-maker? Of these things I have no need. 'Tis a warrior's heart I seek.
With that, the goddess turns away and becomes stone once more. Much like her life, this elderly priestess's torch has not only been snuffed, but petrified. Tireless winds blow past the form of fair Alcon, who was well. The lovely purple color of this flower conceals its poisonous nature. This simple bowl and accompanying Argonus takes the newly created mixture and drops it into the small pouch. This pouch has been filled with a mixture of 3 strange, poisonous ingredients. This shallow pond reflects tall stones, set about it as if to keep the water captive within this golden veil. Now nothing more than sodden plank, this statue appears to be under construction. Considering the dire circumstances, it may remain so indefinitely. Small ticks, like droplets of water, emanate from within this stone pedestal. Heavy ropes bind the rungs of this simple wooden ladder. This blade, known as a Zephos, has been neglected. Its edges are dull, and the metal is rusted with age. Heavy ropes bind the rungs of this simple wooden ladder. Sword raised, Argonus calls upon Hera, praying the great goddess will reveal herself. The mother of Ares obliges the sailor when the statue slowly comes to life and stone lips part.
Argonus,
She says,
stand where you are and move no closer, for you are on holy ground. I have watched you from afar. I have seen your mettle. I have felt your anguish. Did you know that the gods feel anguish as well? Perhaps not for fallen comrades, but certainly for that which has been taken from us. Zeus's pets have taken to roost, defiling my golden orchard, which now lies fallow. I need but one warrior who would reclaim it. Reclaim my honor. Would the name of Argonus be immortalized thus?
Argonus says nothing and raises his sword once again. Hera nods even as the sailor feels her eyes move from his face to his chest, and then finally resting upon his weapon.
But this sword is ill-suited for such a task. Its blade is dulled, but I will grind it fine. Its tip broken, but I will make it like new.
Hera transforms the weapon, reshaping the steel with nothing more than a wave of her hand. As Argonus marvels at the restored sword, Hera reverts to stone, but not before a final warning.
Prove yourself, sailor of the Argo, and you shall be rewarded. Fail in this, and not even Athena can save you.
Whatever has passed, and whatever lies before me, I shall never forget the commission laid upon my shoulders by the Queen of the Gods herself. The marvel of Hera's appearance alone would have rendered this simple man dumbstruck, if not for the tales told to me by trusted Argonauts. For I have sailed with men who consorted with gods long before my sandaled foot touched bewitched sand. They have set tall sails on dark rising swells that no other ship has traversed. They have gazed over wooden bulwarks at impossible sights and have seen the dust of vast armies hide the sun. Under starry skies I stood, beneath hero Jason's shadow, listening to their stories, fashioning maps of isles that guarded primordial treasures, archiving grand quests steeped in truth and bound for legend. Tales to rival those told in the halls of my fathers. But those things are beyond me now. Mighty Argo rests forever upon a strange shore, her keel shattered, her memories carried aloft by dark waves, and lost to boundless waters. Enough, for today is ripe with troubles of its own. If the gods wish to make themselves known to a simple sailor, to call upon me with great labors, I shall be at the ready and face them as my brothers did, as an Argonaut.
The Harpies do not appear to view a single sword-wielding historian as a potential threat. The Harpies do not appear to view a single sword-wielding historian as a potential threat. This pouch has been filled with a mixture of 3 strange, poisonous ingredients. Phineus called these beasts the dogs of Zeus. 'Tis an apt. The Harpies do not appear to view a single sword-wielding historian as a potential threat. Whether the golden skin of these apples was Argonus reaches for the golden apple, but a monstrous hiss from above stays his hand. Argonus reaches for the golden apple, but a monstrous hiss from above stays his hand. This silver drachma is oddly struck, bearing the image of a grinning skull. Argonus drives the enchanted sword into the Hydra's mouth. But even using considerable force, the sailor of the Argo can extract no more than 3 of the beast's teeth. No doubt struck by the hand of an Argonaut, the head of the Hydra lies lifeless, its flesh still warm to the touch. As if awaiting the first act of a great play, a circle of tall, silent stones surround Argonus as he reaches for the teeth of the Hydra. With a sweep of his arm, he tosses them into the shallow water, like a farmer sowing his field after winter's winds have faded. The ground trembles beneath the sailor's feet, followed by an uneasy silence. Then, one by one, skeletal foot soldiers rise, their stalwart shields bearing the mark of the very thing that birthed them. The undead warriors look to the trees and move as one toward the harpies that desecrate their branches. They engage the beasts with fury, wielding sword and spear, staining the green sod below with splatters. After a short skirmish, the dogs of Zeus relent and are driven from the dense boughs and into gray skies. Victorious, the skeletons remain, ensuring the safety of the goddess's orchard.
Let it be known that while I did not sail with the Phoenician prince Cadmus, I knew one other who sowed the teeth of a dragon. Jason, hero of the Argo and burglar of the Golden Fleece. At a shallow fount, tall stones set about, and a great tree at its head, I stood, the teeth of the mighty Hydra within my palm. With the goddess's words in my ears, I raised my hand and cast my prize into the shallow waters. I thought myself prepared. Yet amazement and fear welled within my breast, gripping my heart. Skeletal foot soldiers, their polished shields bearing the Hydra's mark, rose from the earth and looked to the trees, whose great boughs bore the weight of the harpies, foul beasts who desecrate and destroy. But they were no match for the children of the Hydra. With sword and spear, the dogs of Zeus were driven from the fair glade and into gray skies high above. And so, by my hand, the grove of the goddess Hera was made pure once again.
This shallow pond reflects tall stones. Set about, the skeletal soldier stands at attention, perhaps guarding the grove, perhaps awaiting further orders. Sword in hand, this skeleton moves silently beneath. This skeleton remains, ensuring that the harpies will never again alight upon these golden boughs. While impressive statues dedicated to the goddess Hera are not uncommon, the dearth of pious attendants, it takes naught but a few heartbeats for the statue to stir, and the mother of all gods to awake.
Well done, sailor of the Argo,
Hera says.
You have driven the harpies from the boughs of my orchard. Their broad wings have taken them into the skies, and their lamentations are heard no more. And what is your reward for such courage? Gold that rests within your palm? Your name remembered in my great halls? Yes, it shall be these things.
The goddess says as she returns to stone.
But step outside this place and see if it can be so much more.
While impressive statues dedicated to the goddess Hera are not uncommon, this stone is bereft of markings, offering no explanation for the small depressions set into its surface. The yellow light it emits is curious. Gazing skyward, Argonus witnesses Hera's promise glide down to the earth upon wings of purest white. No doubt a gift from the goddess Hera, the winged horse is skittish and rebuffs the sailor's attempt to ride the creature. Argonus has golden apple in hand. Argonus approaches the stallion with trepidation. But the sailor's worries prove unfounded when the horse gently shakes his snow-white mane and accepts the gift. Sensing a kinship, Argonus straddles the great winged horse, and for a few moments at least, leaves the burdens of the world far below him. With neither cow nor ox in sight, this cart would appear abandoned. No doubt a gift from the goddess Hera herself. A noble, this woman could not outrun the horror that pursued her and transformed her flesh. Book 2, The Burden of Thanatos. The words on this parchment are difficult to read, as if they were quickly written. 'Tis a note written on parchment. It reads, Elhood, the coals were unfit for the forge. Take care with the wood, you let it burn too high. Dirt first, then fire. See Sophos the shearer for kindling. 'Tis naught but the ashes from a spent. This pile of dirt is intermingled with bits of dark. The handle and shaft of this simple shovel are made of walnut, its blade of pitted iron. This pile of dirt is intermingled with bits of dark, cold coal. There is nary room left for a single piece of wood. Argonus sets the shovel to dirt again and again until the planks are completely covered. With the exception of a large hole at the top, dirt covers the wooden pile, creating a simple kiln. This simple farmer looks to have put up a fight, albeit in vain. Bards will tell countless tales of Idas, Buttes. Kinsman and falconer is no more. The land of Tegea has lost a favored son. Argonus takes a single cautious step forward before two eyes, set like burning coals, narrow and stop him cold. The Daimon's grotesque head regards the sailor.
Nay, Argonus, son of Argus, thou cannot pass beyond this threshold. So says Hades, lord of the underworld. For just as many legions doth serve me and obey my will, so too Thanatos obeys the will of he who governs the dead.
A dreadful gaze from the daimon is enough to bring Argonus to a standstill. Razor-sharp teeth part as it addresses the sailor.
I admire thy tenacity, Argonaut, but only my lord Hades can command Thanatos to stand aside.
Enveloped in smoke, laced in poison, a massive creature bars entrance to the stone path ahead. It is obvious that this man was trying to shield the woman from harm. This man was attempting to crawl away from that which would bring him doom. The owl appears mildly interested in the wanderings of Waif. This stone is bereft of markings, offering no explanation for the small depression set into its surface. The yellow light, the great statue of Hades, god of the underworld, lies still at the great statue of Hades stirs as if waking from a long, deep slumber. The god of the underworld looks about before his gaze settles upon the sailor.
Argonus, son of Argus, the shipbuilder. I have heard your name spoken within the halls of Zeus, albeit in whispers, and even then through mediary. It is said that fair Athena herself has laid upon your frail shoulders a great burden. And while she charges you to seek out your comrades, I find it curious that the goddess of wisdom would care so much about that which Hades governs.
The god looks away, as if seeking something that even he cannot find.
I know a great many things, Argonus. I know when each soul departs this mortal coil. I know when they enter my realm, and I know on which dark river they set sail. However, what I do not know,
Hades says, his eyes once again turning toward Argonus,
is why the names of two sisters are also uttered high upon Olympus. There is an object, an orb that can grant me such an answer. Who would be my steward? Who would bring it here, to my temple, to me?
Without hesitation, Argonus nods. Pledge made, the god of the underworld stretches forth his hand, and a helm materializes before Argonus.
Take this helm of darkness. Wear it, and eyes will be blinded to you. Succeed in this boon, and I will provide you with something greater. A way forward where there was none. So says Hades, brother of Zeus and Poseidon, ruler of the dead.
And with that proclamation, the statue shifts once more and becomes silent. The great statue of Hades. It is obvious that the helm was given for a greater purpose. One that only the god Hades appears to fully comprehend. The great statue of Hades moves once again. The god looks down upon Argonus, but simply shakes his head.
'Tis not the helm I require, sailor of the Argo, but that which can show me things I cannot see.
Hades looks away and becomes still once more. The owl cocks its head. This stone is bereft of markings, offering no explanation for the small depression set into its surface. The yellow light it emits is curious. It is obvious that this man was trying to shield the woman from harm. Unfortunately, he failed. This juvenile was not immune to that which takes man and even with his keen eyesight. The Cyclops is nescient of the helm-wearing Argonaut. This juvenile was not immune to that which takes man and mystic creature alike. It does not take a chronicler nor a seer to recognize the women that warm themselves by the fire. They are the Grey-Eye, witches of well renown. In preparation for a meal, 3 eels have been knit. 'Tis fitting that an iron cauldron is found. A glass calcinator such as this. One can only speculate the strange, finely embroidered pillows rest upon an equally elegant rug. A large fire such as this offers comfort to those who sit about it. With the aid of Hades' gift, the Grey-Eye are caught unawares as the smoke from the fire billows, carrying the potion within its grip. It takes naught but a few seconds for the witches to feel its effect, and one by one, they fall into a deep sleep. This orb, so coveted by the blind seeresses, is said to reveal both the past and future in equal measure. A simple concoction, thrown into the fire, has put the witches to sleep and rendered them powerless. Argonus holds out his hand, and the all-seeing eye of the Grey Eye rises. The god of the underworld stretches forth his arm, and light, not unlike that of a moonbeam, engulfs the sailor of the Argo. Argonus turns, and for the first time since setting foot upon this bedeviled isle, bears witness to his bane. With naught but a simple gaze, a woman, her hair like a nest of snakes, turns one of his shipmates into stone. The other creature, distraught, moves between the two, pleading.
Steno, this madness must end. How many more must perish to satiate your thirst for vengeance? Let us mourn our sister in peace. Let us return home.
A flash of anger crosses Steno's face as she moves within mere inches of her cowering sister.
Never, Euryale. There is no time to weep or wail, nor shall there be. Not as long as a single breath forms within my breast. The petty gods will pay. Wretched Athena will pay. From Hades' heart, I will stab at them. For hate's sake, I shall drive my vengeance deep.
Steno moves toward the looming entrance within the mount, but not before she pauses.
When shall my hate have its fill? When shall it be placated?
The woman whispers.
Never, Euryale. Never.
And with that, Steno is gone, and Euryale obediently follows her sister into the darkness, into her madness. The vision falters, and the light that fell from the hand of Hades follows before fading completely. The god of the underworld takes measure of Argonus, and with a final nod, the statue moves no more, and the helm vanishes from sight. This orb, so coveted by the blind seeresses, is said to reveal both the past and future in equal measure.
I have done the very thing that my brethren could not. I have stared into the loathsome eyes of the scourge and lived to tell the tale. 'Tis true, for I have watched in horror as mighty Cepheus, brother of Amphidamas, did succumb to its devilry. Those who doubt my sight, the apostates and illiterate, might say what I beheld was nothing more than a fevered dream, summoned from human frailties. Others would spout that the vision was a trick of the mind, a glamour to take hold of weak and hopeful fools. 'Tis not so. I know the thing witnessed by this sailor was neither feebled madness nor dark illusion. The form that death now takes, the very one that has brought the men of the Argo to ruin, is that of the dread Gorgons. Never will my eyes forget this, nor my heart forgive such great transgressions. My will is unfaltering, and I shall neither mourn nor wallow in my infirmities. No, I will bring a reckoning upon the heads of these creatures and the brood of vipers that nest thereon.
This stone's before Argonus can take another step. The Cyclops lumbers toward the sailor, blocking his way. A low growl flows from clenched teeth, its meaning clear. Do not approach the petrified juvenile. 'Tis a monstrous Cyclops. Many a tale has been told about these one-eyed creatures. Some force, whether virtuous or malevolent, "'Tis the all-seeing eye of the Grey Eye. Possessing such a thing shall surely lead one to ruin." How the great eye of the Grey Eye can move on its own accord is nothing short of a mystery. Enveloped in smoke, laced in poison, a massive creature as Argonus slowly approaches the poisonous cloud, the daimon cocks his head, as if listening to a voice only one such as he can. Seconds pass before the beast turns his attention to the sailor trembling before him.
Never has there been a time when Thanatos was commanded to forsake those souls he was sent to gather. And yet, this is the will of Hades, the one to whom I am subject.
Once again, the daimon looks away before finally letting his dark gaze settle upon Argonus.
I fear this was brought to be by thine own hands, Argonaut. For without thy influence, the Lord of the Underworld would not hold me hands. If I am to go forth, one must take my place. For if I cannot harvest the souls of those who remain between life and death, then the son of Argus must suffice.
Thanatos lifts a claw into the air, and without further explanation, utters a single word.
Menas ignis.
Argonus screams as his hand is momentarily enveloped in flame. Just as quickly as it arrived, it became passive. As the sailor looks upon his new hand in both horror and the daimon begins to dissipate, leaving only the smell of ash in its wake. Moments later, that too fades from this world.
Forgive this historian, as I find it impossible to fully comprehend, much less lay onto parchment, that which concerns the burden laid upon me by the daimon. It is as if proper words seek to evade me, refusing to form upon my lips. In the days that I stood ready at Jason's elbow, I can recount only one kindred encounter, one worthy of both bards and those who would gather at the poet's feet. Listen to this tale if you have ears to hear. We had brought mighty Argo to shore on Limnos, the Sintian Isle, under the cover of darkest night. As our feet found dry ground, we were set upon by towering men, pale like the moon itself, and laden with sword, spear, and axe. As Helion, son of Helios, fell, mortally wounded in the grave battle, a great billow of smoke appeared, and a disfigured hand formed within it. That is when I beheld Helion's soul rise from his mortal frame and depart this world. And although my mind cannot hold fast to this new encounter, nor this hand that I now possess, Thanatos' last words of mystery burn like flame before my eyes. For if I cannot harvest the souls of those who remain between life and death, then the son of Argus must suffice.
The air about Argonus suddenly grows heavy, and without warning, a rift opens, and the favored daughter of Zeus steps through. Athena smiles at the sailor. Well done and done, Argonus. You have proved yourself much more than a historian, much more than a simple sailor. And now, I sense in you a new thing, the goddess says, tilting her head. Do not withhold this gift from those who sailed blue seas and grey swells. Nor should you give up on your brethren, for while many have fallen, some still live. Again, I say to you, seek them out and save them. For the ones that have brought them low, you have now seen with your own eyes. Stheno and Euryale, creatures of madness and spite. Athena's eyes narrow as she speaks with great authority. Gird yourself for what is ahead, son of Argus. Do not grow weary, for fair Athena is with you, and a boat awaits. The goddess slowly nods her head, and without another word, is taken up into the sky. Argonus shudders, ill at ease under the watchful eyes of the maleficent harpies. Apparently under some spell, the great eye moves about within the satchel, as if to liberate itself from Argonus's possession. The beating of wretched black wings can be heard far overhead. The name of this woman, or where she was returning from, will never be known. Unless repaired, this discarded cot is of little use. The chalky fleece of this ewe is wanting for a shearer's work. Book 3, Forges and Fire. Without a sturdy hammer and tongs such as these, how would a smith bend iron and bronze to his will? Neither man nor woman is granted mercy from the scourge that stalks this isle. The great Phidias of Athens himself could not craft a sculpture so lifelike, yet lifeless. This boy was caught off guard and had little time to discern friend from foe. A few uninteresting items rest upon this table. This wooden chest is adorned with silver wooden planks and animal skins. Do not a comfortable bed make. Although no fire burns within, this clay stove is still warm to the touch. It appears that little time was spent in crafting this small table and accompanying chair. The terror that has a grip on this island has easily overtaken this man. Based on his posture, it is obvious that the terror that haunts this isle caught this man by surprise. With neither cow nor ox in sight, this cart would appear abandoned. Wooden planks and animal skins do not. This silver drachma is oddly struck, bearing the image of a grinning skull. The poorly constructed shelf is. This appears to be a note, written on fine parchment. The note reads, "Celius, the beast upon the hill must once again be appeased. Its appetite for riches is becoming insatiable." It is signed, Tallius. The gaze from the griffin brings the sailor pause. Argonus slowly retreats, leaving the golden treasure be. During his adventures, Argonus has beheld gold can be seen scattered throughout this massive nest. These silver adornments have been left as deep scratches mar the top of this stone pedestal. This stone forge is bereft of coal and, for the moment, useless. It would appear a piece of the forge is missing. This stone is bereft of markings, offering no explanation for the visage of Hephaestus, god of the forge. Marbled stone shifts as the spirit of Hephaestus enters the ornate statue shaped long ago by human hands. The god of the forge regards Argonus with unblinking eyes.
Who is this man before me? Surely not one who strikes the iron, no one who stokes the fire. Nay.
The god continues, his brow furrowed.
They are no more, having fallen to that which fair Athena hath unleashed. Do not be deceived, sailor of the Argo. While it was Perseus's hand that sundered head from shoulders, the heart that drove the blade was assuredly that of the goddess.
Hephaestus pauses, deep in thought. When he speaks again, it is slow and measured.
I am loath to meddle in my sister's quarrels, either to directly help your quest to find your countrymen, or abate the scourge being wrought by the Gorgon's sisters. And yet, if you return the gold stolen from my temple, and tend my forge, I will grant you a light to drive away darkness.
The benevolent god nods before the statue becomes still once again. Well skilled to attack a charging foe, Nauplius now stands frozen in time, never again to bear long arrows. This stone visage is of Pelles, warder of Thespia, who surpassed all men in naval skill, be it on high seas or curving shores. While this remnant has succumbed to wind and rain, it is unclear where the remainder of this massive statue resides. This appears to be nothing more than a simple basket, perhaps used in a religious. Argonus adds the golden apples he is carrying to the basket. This woman, no doubt a worshipper by her garment, shall forever pluck at wildflowers. Young Cepheus, aboard the Argo not but a fortnight, has succumbed to the very thing that has cursed this isle. No keyhole or handle, despite a valiant effort. The great doors simply refuse to open. A notch in the door frame can be seen behind this large stone statue. Argonus puts his weight against the stone, but is unable to move the statue even a hand's breadth. While the stone facade is unfamiliar, the strangely shaped hole is not. The remains of baskets are strewn upon the rocks. Perhaps these once contained offerings. Argonus approaches the griffin cautiously, glancing anxiously toward the skies before setting the gold-laden basket upon the sod. The beast immediately takes notice, as the treasure is simply too great to resist. After a moment, it leaves its hoard unguarded. All at once, the air is replete with the rush of wings and unearthly screams. The dogs of Zeus descend as one, intent on claiming the savory prize as their own. Although fear grips his breast, Argonus makes haste, quickly seizing several of the golden pieces before the unearthly combatants take notice. It is unclear from where the griffin stole this armor. Regardless, gold is not an ideal metal to be used in battle. These silver adornments have been left as an offering to the god Hephaestus. Like a hunter returning with prized spoils, Argonus holds the golden artifacts high, and the statue of Hephaestus stirs.
Well done, Argonus.
The god of smiths says, nodding.
While I will not interfere with that which has been set into motion, mighty Hephaestus can instruct, can he not?
The god motions to the forge.
4 things are paramount, Argonaut. Coal for the fire, air to stoke, metal to shape, and a tool to shape it.
He then points to Argonus.
Sailor, historian, mapmaker, and soon metallurgist. Surely your father Argus would approve.
And with that, Hephaestus looks away and moves no more. These golden adornments, these silver adornments have been left as an offering to the god Hephaestus. Some force, whether virtuous or malevolent, pulls at the eye of the witches. Buttes. Bards will tell countless tales of Idus, he of boundless strength, and slayer of boar and centaur alike. Cautiously, Argonus approaches the distraught Grey-Eye, their one eye held out before him, an olive branch extended. Before he can utter a single word, the orb is lifted from his palm, and moments later, gently comes to rest in old, gnarled hands. The sailor braces for retribution, but none appears. The seeresses merely sit in silence. Finally, the first speaks, her voice low and raspy.
This we have not foreseen.
The second follows.
Stolen yet returned.
The third continues.
A quandary set before us. A wayward sailor? Athena's puppet? No, he is more than that.
The witches become quiet once again, staring into a fire that they cannot see, pondering the fate of an uncommon thief.
We know not where this ends.
The first breaks the silence.
We cannot stop it.
There's the second.
Mayhap this one can.
Finishes the third. With that, the first Grey-Eye lifts her hand and slowly draws something in the air. The world around Argonus wavers, and he becomes a captive audience to words once spoken between goddess and mortal man.
Come, my lovely Medusa. Lay with me again.
Oh, please, great Poseidon, I cannot. I am sworn in service to Athena. Oh, no. No!
Poseidon, you dare defile what is mine? And here, in my sacred temple?
Mind thy tongue, Athena. Yes, the Lord of the Seas dares. But what of it? Nothing you can do can bring me to harm.
Perhaps that is true. But the same cannot be said of this woman.
My goddess, please. Forgive me.
Athena, no!
As the words fade from his ears, Argonus searches for the witches in vain, wondering how a simple sailor can bear witness to such past events. "'Tis fitting that an iron cauldron is found. Finely embroidered pillows rest upon an equally elegant rug. "'Tis a monstrous cyclops. Many a tale has been told about these one-eyed creatures. This stone's under the watchful eye of the Cyclops. Argonus frees the soul of his friend, hoping the beast understands the sailor's intent. Argonus approaches the petrified creature slowly, glancing back and forth between it and the adult Cyclops. When Argonus reaches the stone creature, he realizes that the adult not only witnessed him freeing the soul of the Argonaut, but must have grasped what could be done for his child. Raising his hand slowly, Argonus allows the power of the diamond to flow through him and into the young Cyclops. The adult begins to wail as the stone breaks, falling to the earth just as the soul of the beast rises and dissipates. His mission of mercy complete, Argonus turns toward the huge beast, his head low. The creature looks at him for a moment, before turning and slowly disappearing from sight. The great statue of Hades, god of the underworld, lies still and dormant. With neither cow nor ox in sight, this cart would appear abandoned. The great white horse recognizes Argonus, and within moments carries the sailor of the Argo over the gorge and into the grey skies above. The insatiable hunger of harpies is well documented. The beast's desire for gold, however, was not. The skeletal soldier stands at attention, perhaps guarding the grove, perhaps awaiting further orders. While impressive statues dedicated to the goddess Hera are not uncommon, the dearth of pious attendants is troubling. Based on the uncovered food such as this is sure to draw flies. With a simple gesture, Argonus frees the soul of the animal from its stone prison. Only a few items remain. The poorly constructed shelf is laden with It appears that little time was spent in craft. Poorly made wooden chairs frame only a few items. This simple bronze key lacks any sort of embellishment. Wooden planks and animal skins do not a comfortable bed make. This wayward pig, the chalky fleece of this ewe, is wanting for a shearer's work. With a quick stroke, Argonus removes a small clump of the beast's fleece. This wild sheep appears interested in nothing more than the grasses that grow upon this beach. With a simple gesture, Argonus frees the soul of the animal from its stone prison. The chalky fleece of this ewe is wanting for a shearer's work. Argonus shows compassion for the poor creature, setting its soul free from the bewitchment that fell upon it. Combined with flint and steel, the wool will serve as tinder, and this vase, portraying Poseidon and a merhorse, may have once held water or oil. At the moment, however, it holds neither. As the Hydra crumbles to the sod, the soul of the beast does not appear, nor does it succumb to Hades' call and depart to the underworld. Amidst the rubble, a large stone remains, unscathed by the power of the diamond's touch. By its nature, stone is hard. This one, however, is uncommonly so. Warm to the touch, it reverberates with a continuous pulse. The great white horse recognizes Argonus, and within moments carries the sailor of the Argo over the gorge and into the grey skies above. It takes only a single strike of steel on flint to produce a fine flame. Smoke pours from the kiln. Given time, the makeshift structure will yield a modest amount of charcoal. The great white horse recognizes Argonus, and within moments carries the sailor of the Argo over the gorge and into the grey skies above. No, the great white horse recognizes Argonus, and within moments carries the sailor of the Argo over the gorge and into the grey skies above. This pile of dirt is intermingled with bits of dark, cold coal. Again and again, Argonus sets shovel to dirt, until all that remains are a number of coals. 'Tis a number of its fiery work complete, nothing of import remains within this kiln. These bellows are well. The shape and color of this keystone is familiar, mirroring the one pulled from wet sand. These bellows, Argonus squeezes the bellows repeatedly, albeit in vain. black coal that rests within this stone forge awaits the touch of a flame. Argonus sets the wool into the forge. It takes only a single strike of steel on flint to produce a fine flame. Argonus squeezes the bellows repeatedly, fanning the flames of the forge until the coals blaze with an intense heat. The griffin's gold is set carefully within the forge. It doesn't take long for the soft metal to begin to glow. As if possessed by the spirit of Hephaestus himself, Argonus brings the hammer down on the gold again and again, reshaping once beautiful armor into a mass of precious metal. Divine power continues to drive his strokes as unrecognizable form takes shape and after time becomes something far more than the sailor thought he could construct. A light to drive away darkness. This golden torch may have been formed by man, but 'twas the god of forges that guided the hammer. A strong, steady flame burns. These bellows are well crafted, and the visage of Hephaestus, god of the forge, has been painstakingly carved into marble. Argonus sets the petrified heart of the Hydra before Hephaestus, prompting the statue to life once more, without questioning the intent of the sailor, nor asking for a boon in return. The god's mighty hammer crashes down, freeing the creature's organ from its stone prison. Freed from its stone prison, the still beating heart of the Methosian Hydra radiates a fell heat. The visage of Hephaestus. These golden adornments, these silver adornments, this stone is bereft of marble. Certainly the heart of a Methosian Hydra should not reside in the satchel of a sailor, but rather in something more preternatural.
No one would fault the sailor if I were to recount, at great length and with great detail, the clash of the magnificent winged creatures I have just borne witness. For surely, even a novice storyteller could lift and embellish the battle for Hephaestus's gold with great plum and ardor. Nor shall I speak at great length about the god of the forge himself, although I would be remiss if I did not mention the great gift granted this sailor. A golden torch of unquenchable fire. I shall instead speak plainly on the thing that begs to be brought from shadow into light, the very nature of the gods themselves. I possess neither need nor desire to debate their existence, for I have received both mercy from their hands and been found wanting in their sight. No, it is not their divinity I question. It is their motives. Why would those who rule on high choose to inhabit stone visages on an uncharted isle? Why intercede with a simple sailor, graciously offering burden and blessing in equal portion? While these queries shall assail sleepless nights long after I depart these shores, one chilling question cannot be ignored. What unseen power do these Gorgons possess that even the gods would fear?
A notch in the doorframe can be seen. Argonus puts his weight against the stone, but is unable to move the statue even a hand's breadth. Without warning, the Cyclops appears, his single eye moving back and forth between Argonus and the broken statuary. The docile creature wraps its massive fingers around the stone fragment, and, with a grunt, moves and bends. The Cyclops bellows at the sky before fixing its gaze on the historian. Argonus nods with understanding as the creature wanders away. The sailor's merciful boon has been paid back in full. Set within the rock, the carved hole appears to be wanting a key of sorts. The final keystone placed, a deep grinding fills the air, and heavy stone doors slowly open, revealing a dark passageway beyond.